Hey, what's up guys? This is our 2017 History Day Draw My Life, titled Conflict and Compromise, Vietnam Military Policy and Civilian Protest by Michaeli Deng, Zachary Wong, and Alex Trung. Our story starts out in 1930 when a man named Ho Chi Minh founds the Indochinese Communist Party, or ICP, in Hong Kong. Ten years later, the Japanese invade Vietnam, and the ICP organizes the Viet Minh, a guerrilla force, to gain independence from Japanese occupation. 9 years later, in June 1950, the United States identifies the Viet Minh as a communist threat and provides military aid to France in efforts against the Viet Minh. In 1957, the communist North Vietnam starts to attack the South.
In September 1960, Ho Chi Minh is replaced by Le Duong as head of North Vietnam's Communist Party.
Later that year, in December, the National Liberation Front, or NLF, is formed with the backing of North Vietnam. The United States identifies and starts calling the military wing of the NLF the Viet Cong. 4 years later, in 1964, North Vietnamese patrol boats allegedly attack the USS Maddox, and airstrikes are called in on the patrol boat bases. In the process, 2 aircrafts are shot down and 1 U.S. airman is taken prisoner.
Because of this incident, about 20,000 American troops were stationed in South Vietnam in March 1965. A pacifist Quaker from Baltimore set himself on fire in front of the Pentagon in November 1965 to protest the Vietnam War. Huge protests start to occur in Washington, D.C., New York City, and San Francisco in April of 1967. In January 1968, the Tet Offensive begins, using a combined assault of Viet Minh and North Vietnamese armies. Attacks occur throughout 100 cities and outposts across South Vietnam.
Two months later, in March 1968, President Johnson halts bombing in Vietnam and announces he will not run for re-election after facing backlash about the war. Over a span of 3 years, from 1969 to 1972, the Nixon administration, along with the newly elected President Nixon, start to gradually reduce the amount of U.S. troops in South Vietnam.
May 1970, National Guardsmen fire on anti-war protesters at Coahuil's Kent State University, killing 4 students and wounding 9 students. December 1972, President Nixon orders Operation Linebacker. 20,000 tons of bombs are dropped over densely populated regions in North Vietnam. January 1973, President Nixon signs the Paris Peace Accords, ending direct U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War.
And finally, in July 1975, North and South Vietnam are unified as the Socialist Republic of Vietnam under communist rule.